So, two things that I didn't get to cover today that I just want to mention because I think they're really good, and we can try to cover them in class because we could do these in class. Is I have job description and resume questions. So I came up with some job descriptions for the help desk technician, IT support specialist, network support technician, and system administrator. What I would like you to do, and we can do this in class for like 15 minutes some night, but I'd rather have you write the goal today because I think that stuff's fresher in your mind. This has the descriptions. We've looked at a couple different roles anyways, but I'm going to have you identify a role and address the questions if you were writing lines for your resume or cover letter. So basically, based on the position you choose, what hands-on experiences do you think you have towards that position? How have you provided support? And you might have some of those ideas already from the portfolio development question, but it's really around how would we take these lines and then write them for a resume, right? And it's very similar, and it's almost like a little bit repetitive of the other one, but I would say like this is about updating the resume and the keywords. So we kind of captured probably a good portion of this with the first form, but what I envision with this is like, all right, you would come out of this experience of filling this out with like 3 lines that you would change on your resume. You know what I mean? Specifically. So just keep that in mind. This is about identifying how these questions help you, update your resume when you apply. So for example, what hands-on experiences do you have? How have you provided support, and what technical skills? So I know you've been through that thought process, and what you would be doing is you'd be picking what role you want. And I think you've already kind of given me that information anyway, so we'll do that in class as kind of like a follow-up over the goal. All right, but I have all the roles there for people to just think about. Now, let's look at the presentation real quickly. You saw the portfolio. Let me stop sharing. I just want to show you the descriptions that we had. What did you guys think of Canva so far? Initial thoughts. I know it kind of can seem complicated if you just talk about it in like 5-10 minutes, but what are your thoughts about it as like a tool so far? Any initial reactions? And you can use it for presentations. You can also use it for anything really. You can make videos in Canva. Canva is just a super powerful tool. I think the best use that I'd like to kind of like eventually like at least show you something about is as like your LinkedIn updates, like creating a banner for your LinkedIn page. They have a lot of pre-created banners. They have a lot of just graphics that you can use and create that are super helpful. So what I wanted to just review here was these roles one more time before we got into the goals. So help desk technician, entry-level support, essentially. IT support is help desk as well as technical support. It's just a different described role in that someone who works at a help desk might be kind of stationed at a help desk more, might not be as flexible. Then there's the field support, kind of similar to what you see a Comcast person do in some ways, like on a basic level. A network support technician, of course, supports the networks. Systems administrator is the next step up. So let's just look at, we reviewed those roles, but I just want to look at the differences. So from no experience to entry level roles, you need that basic technical knowledge that you're getting in this class, right? But you also need to kind of expand upon that, into operating systems, Linux basics, troubleshooting, problem solving, customer service, network fundamentals, certifications, so that's the entry level. What you're going to be trying to, after that first initial career experience, is more advanced troubleshooting. You might be looking at, here's the scripting, the bash, PowerShell. Both of those are topics. PowerShell is also in the CompTIA coming up. You'll see that. PowerShell is the other scripting language for Windows. You're going to learn a little bit about that. Managing user permissions is in CompTIA as well. Routine task for a system administrator, that's deeper. Security awareness and certifications. So just, you might be looking at a network security. You might be looking at more security from CompTIA or Microsoft. All right, because that's going to be a way to advance your career. So we did that hands-on. All right. And our final piece is let's walk through the goal setting. So back on this document, we don't want the resume skill writing. Oh, before we talk about goal setting, we can do this in class too. I created 4, and this is stuff that you can look at on your own at home if you're interested in checking stuff out. This is an IT ticketing scenario. So basically 4 different IT help desk scenarios with different solutions. So what we were going to do if we, in person, or we can now do this online and put you into breakout groups, is review this, review the scenario, review the request, get the context, have each team write out their response. And of course, thinking about the CompTIA troubleshooting methodology, right? Same as you do in the questions that you get. We have a printer issue, locked out of a device issue, rubric, and then I have a rubric here for reviewing your solution. Identification, thoroughness of troubleshooting, diagnostic tools, real world constraints. So it's about getting that experience of reviewing an issue and responding to the issue appropriately, which is good practice because if you do it with a question that's not in CompTIA, you can kind of reapply that process in your mind. So just know that's there. We can do that as an in-class activity at some point, just to kind of keep our thoughts going. Now let's get into our form. So our digital portfolio wrap-up work is essentially we're going to get our goal written, which is this link right here, creating a SMART goal. And let's work through this together. Now, this is going to be about just getting a goal out. It doesn't need to be a perfect goal. We don't need to drive ourselves insane. Some of these questions are pretty straightforward. And I want you to dream a little bit here. If you're not sure, think about what you would like or want. And maybe if it's in your existing role or you want to transition to a different type of role, write out what type of role you want, because the goal can be about anything. It doesn't have to be around just specifically a new position. It can be around a new opportunity where you work. It can be about learning something new in general. So keep it open and big. So what type of entry-level role? I would say a very common one is, the IT support role. Working in a corporation, I'll say in an organization or corporation, providing tech support. Now, alterations to this goal could be, maybe I don't want to do that type of thing. Maybe I want to do data analysis. Maybe I want to do cybersecurity. Maybe I want to work with networks. This is where you want to go. Maybe you want to cyber forensics, or data analysis. Maybe you want to work in data analysis and you're just trying to get better at use of technology, right? So that's where you want to go. Then how will you measure your progress? So what do you think is the essential steps here? And this could be, I would say this is like a 1-2 question Doesn't have to be like a 1, 2, 3, but I would say, first of all, maybe, you're in this class taking the cert, but maybe what's more important than the cert? Maybe I need more hands-on experience and projects. Okay. And I also need, I could say the CompTIA, but then I'm going to A+ cert. And then I'm going to say practical. Maybe I want to learn some more scripting for IT roles, like, programming, or, some specific technical skill. Like, how will I know? And you only really need one or kind of two of these. Like, you need big drivers, because this hands-on experience could be an internship. That could be like a big thing. That's a big goal. It doesn't have to be like a tiny thing. The CompTIA is like a certification. That's a big goal. That's work. I mean, we're spending time and doing a lot of work. You're having pizza on a Saturday, like trying to get this cert, trying to like learn. Then there's technical. That could be a specific technical skill that you think you need to acquire that takes time, right?